Welcome back to another Lefties 2 broadcast. All right, today we have a video. It's a top 7 video. Now, why a top 7 video? Is because we're rating the top left-handed infielders. So traditionally, you look at third base, shortstop, and second base. Most of the time, you're not going to see a left-hander playing those positions. They're going to be typically reserved for first base. And yes, this game, you could put any infielder in any position you want to, but strategically, you don't want to typically put left-hander in the other positions. And as you see in my main roster here, Kevin is playing shortstop, mainly for his bat. So a little hypocritical on my point, but fine. But this is left-handers, so typically we're going to be seeing them at first base. So this is my top 7 list of the top 10 left-handed infielders who I would put at first base. So let's get it going. First and foremost, we have Ibrahimovic, right? He is a solid fielding, probably the best fielding left-hander in the game. And again, his bat has a lot of power, pretty average in the contact. I just don't use him a lot. Doesn't have a space in my lineup, and I don't really see people play him that much or that often. All right, so he's number 7. Now, going into number 6 is Martina. Now, she gets a power increase with each foul ball, which, whatever, I guess is great. I do see a lot of people use her because of her speed. That does help. Her fielding and throwing are, kind of below average to average, but she is mostly in there for her solid contact and speed. Power, not so much. So she's sitting there at number 6. All right, moving to number 5 is Jackson. Jackson is an all-power guy, fielding right about average, in my opinion. Speed right along with every other left-hander in there. So he sits there. I don't really typically like that predicting a pitch. Anytime that there's a little, something that kind of distracts me with the new player Santiago, or predicting a pitch, or the red dot with Johnson, it makes it really difficult, and I'd rather not have the distraction. So Jackson sits there at number 5. I do see a little bit more people using him more often because he's just a solid hitter. So if you have him higher than, let's say, Kevin or even Gibson, it might be a good option for you. All right, moving to number 4, left-hander, is Alexandra. She is used quite often and for good reason. 30 power when the bases are loaded. Strategically, this is where I would place her in a lineup if I'm going to use her, which I did quite a bit, is I would put her at number 6. Now, why do you say that? Because Kevin, if you have him in your lineup, place him at number 4, right? Obvious, that's where his power skill comes into handy. And then Murray, number 5, if you're playing with Murray. Now, again, if you go 1, 2, 3, right, Murray is going to probably come up with 2 people on, which is what is going to make his skill a little bit better. And if they walk Murray, you got Alexander with the bases loaded. That's typically how you use her. I've also seen her batting leadoff because of her speed. So again, if you want that power 203 right off the bat, that's a good option and a pretty quick leadoff batter. So she's pretty solid there. And I've seen people typically use her, at third or shortstop also. Not highly recommended, mainly because left-handers have that extra step to throw. And also when they tag at short or second base, sometimes you're going to whiff. They whiff it because they tag the wrong side of the base. Little glitch in my opinion. But anyways, she's solid at number 4. All right, number 3 is the new guy, Wilson. Now, again, a little hypocritical in my opinion from what I just said. He is a big distraction when he gets that fastball. It kind of flames on, right? But when you use them with that boost, as you see my batting average with that boost, 632. I murdered the ball when he came up. All right, so I actually like him. And honestly, when he gets to level 13, I might actually replace him over Kevin, just because I think his power and contact are a little bit better, in my opinion. All right, so there it goes, number 2. Again, hypocritical to my whole entire point. Kevin here's in the shortstop hole because that power. 219. That is cheat mode, right? When he's in that leadoff, man, it's power, contact, 200 contact, power. He's slow as shit, throwing, fielding, but people fear him. is the couple batters in this game where people just don't want to pitch to him because he can walk it off at any time. And that's not just at level 13. He's at level 11 playing against level 13 batters. He still has an opportunity to take them deep, right? He is good at every level of the game. Right? So if you're like a new player, if you get Kevin, put him in your lineup. If you're a veteran player, if you can find room, put him in your lineup. All right? So Kevin is a beast. He's sitting there at number 2 for me for left-handed infielders that I would put at first base. All right, number 1, no-brainer, super obvious. Again, one of the first legendary players. I think Ryan typically is the first with Roger. But Gibson, again, contact and power. Right? If you side-by-side comparison with him and Kevin, right? So he has more contact than Kevin, a little bit less power, doesn't matter. But then it comes in handy, that's speed. So he is an average speed dude that it's a full package. Fielding a little bit more, so I put him in the natural spot at first base. His throwing is weaker, that's why he's at first base over Kevin, and Kevin's at short, because he has a little better of an arm, which is important at shortstop. Again, Kevin is going to get a little bit more errors at short because it's not really a natural spot, and his defense is pretty low. But there it is, folks. Top 7 left-handed infielders in the game that typically would go at first base. Again, at the end of the day, you could put anybody in any order you want in the infield. It's up to you. Whatever you feel is comfortable, whatever kind of lineup. If you have a speed lineup or you have a contact lineup, power lineup, right? I kind of have a power lineup, as you can see. You look at Durant, 203 power. You look at Jack, 203 power, right? It's a power infield minus, Jessica at 175, but, she's in there mostly for her pitching ability. Okay, so there it is, folks. If you want another list, send them my way, right? They're definitely going to keep coming. So thank you for watching. Subscribe, send me a comment. I'll definitely answer it. And give me your thoughts on who your top first baseman is or why you put other batters that are left-handed in other positions. Give me your opinion. Let me know. Have a good one. See you next time.